Hi, my name is Zheng, and I'm currently a postdoctoral researcher at the University of California, Berkeley, and I am a recipient of the Postdoctoral Fellowship in Drug Delivery. So during high school, I became quite interested in baking, and my family took notice of that, and they thought that baking is quite similar to doing experiments. And they thought chemistry is a field that involves a lot of experimenting and lab work. And they suggested to me that I could maybe try chemistry as a major in undergraduate. At first, I was not so sure that was a good idea, but I decided to give it a try anyways. And they ended up being right. I love doing experiments, and I found chemistry super fascinating. Unfortunately, I don't really bake anymore because I find myself having a hard time saying no to overeating desserts. But looking back, I find it really interesting that one of the reasons I stepped onto this path is because of baking. My PhRMA Foundation funded research focuses on lipid nanoparticles. Lipid nanoparticles are these tiny fat-based particles that are drug delivery vehicles. They can help large medicine reach cells in the body that they otherwise wouldn't able to enter on their own. This is significant because large drugs can treat diseases that are difficult to target with traditional medicine. Once these particles are in the body, proteins get absorbed onto their surfaces, and these proteins have a big impact on where the drugs go and the overall performance of the therapeutic. My goal is to understand what proteins get absorbed onto these particles and how they affect the effectiveness of the therapeutic. My research can shed light on why some of these tiny fat particles work really well while some don't. This can help us design particles that can effectively deliver these large drugs into cells. My findings can enable the development of new therapeutics that can treat diseases that currently lack effective treatments. I love research not only because I love science, but also because research is like treasure hunting, but you don't really have a map. And so the treasure will be the new finding or innovation. Previous studies can give you a lot of clues, and fellow scientists can give you suggestions on which direction to go, but in the end, you will never know what you will find. And this uncertainty that comes to research can be quite frustrating, but also makes research very exciting. One of the misconceptions I think people have about science and researchers are that scientists are socially isolated people who work alone, and oftentimes they are portrayed as these omnipotent people who can devise advanced gadgets all by themselves. But in reality, scientific discovery is a highly collaborative process, and no matter how intelligent one is, they have to work together. And oftentimes it's these collaborative moments that scientific breakthrough happens. During my time outside of research, I really enjoy playing badminton and also going ice skating. And I also like to play video games. And one of my favorite is Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Basically, you're a leader of a civilization and you want to build your empire, and you're competing with other civilizations, and you want to achieve either domination, culture, scientific, or religious victory in the end. So the advice I would give to my younger self is to be more confident. So in the game Civilization 6, they included a quote from Faust by Goethe. The quote is, "As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live." And ever since I saw this quote, it really resonated me since and encouraged me to be confident and to be brave. And so I would want to give this quote to my younger self. So my future career goal would be to become a faculty member and eventually lead my own research lab. I would love to continue to pursue research in biomaterials that can enhance therapeutics. And I would also be honored to have the opportunity to teach and train the next generation scientists.